Gonna have a good day.
So can financial freedom really be just 7 steps away? That's what life and business strategist Tony Robbins is telling us in his new book. And he's joining us live this morning from Florida. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You know, I was flipping through the book. I was trying to get I was trying to do a quick read to figure out if I could get some strategies. But let's talk about what do we do first? Because I know it's not easy to, as you say in the book, you can create a guaranteed lifetime income stream. That's not real easy to do. What's our first step need to be?
The very first step, there's 7 steps, but the first step is really simple. I don't care if you're young or old, you got to get in the game and become an investor, because if you're just a consumer, you're going to be broke. 1 out of 3 baby boomers has $1,000 saved for retirement. The average person is in bad shape for the future. How do you do it differently? I asked Warren Buffett what made him wealthy. He said, Tony, 3 things. Living in America, which everybody has, good genes, and compound interest. What you want to do is tap into this. Now, people may have heard about this, but let me explain. There's a man named Theodore Johnson. Bet you never heard of his name. Not a famous man. He worked for UPS. He never made more than $14,000 in his entire life, and yet he retired with $70 million and gave away $35 million while he was alive. Now, how do you do that? Everybody I talk to says, I have no money to invest, and I know they're right. I've been in that place myself. I get it. But here's what his friend told him. He said, if the government passed a tax, and it was a 20% tax on all above what you're already paying, you'd say it's impossible, I can't pay it, but you'd have to. He said, I'm going to make you wealthy. I'm going to take 20% and automate it. You're never going to see it. It's going to go on this investment account. And through compounding, it was worth $70 million when he retired. That's the power of compounding. You'll never get there by earning more. You'll only get there by making money your slave. Most of us are making a bad financial trade. We're trading money for time. You never get that time back. You want to trade money for money, and that's what I show you how to do in this book, even with the tiniest amount of money.
Yeah, time is really on your side. If you do that little game where you put a penny in a jar and then you put 2 pennies in a jar, and if you look at how you extrapolate it over the course of much time, you'll see you can be a millionaire by doing that. When you talk about investing, a lot of people say, I don't even know where to begin when it comes to investing. Is it easier than, I feel like we make it too complicated. It's really about looking into things that you love or love to do and figuring out how to get involved in those companies, right?
Well, it is to some extent, but you also have to know what to avoid. In the financial area, what you don't know will hurt you. In fact, President Obama is trying to legislate this right now. In fact, the big difference is 96% of the people, 100% of the people who are in business usually have a 401k, and 80–90% of them. They put their money in mutual funds. 96% of all mutual funds fail to match the market over any 10-year period of time. That means only 4% succeed. What's your chance of finding that 4%? Well, if you go to play blackjack and you get 2 face cards worth 20 and your inner idiot says, hit me, I think I'll get an ace, you have an 8% chance of getting that. You got a 4% chance of getting mutual fund. So what I show you is what the best investors in the world have done, and they have a different way of investing. They call it asset allocation. They show you the simple approach to do this. The other thing you got to watch out for is fees. The difference between 1% in fees and 3%, and most people have no idea what they're being charged in fees, could be the difference of 50% of your money be going to somebody else's pocket for the same exact investments, 1 to 3. So I show people how to figure out what your fees really are in a matter of seconds. You can go online and figure it out, and then how to change your investments so you're not giving away half of your accumulation to someone else for nothing.
Hey, Tony, I know they say, you know, it's not what you make, it's what you spend. There is a spending epidemic, I feel like, in this country where we're such a buy more culture. How do you rein that in?
Well, I think when you have a really specific goal that says, I want to have this much income for life where I never have to work again, it changes the way you look at things. But also, you know, today there are lots of opportunities for people to develop new skills and abilities where they can earn more than they're earning today. If you've had a traditional job and you've got traditional training, you're probably not earning enough. That's why I believe self-education is the most important thing. Warren Buffett told me, he said the most important investment he ever made was in himself, developing his skills and his abilities. He went to Dale Carnegie, for example, in the early days, and it gave him the ability to speak and change. And he says to this day, those are the most valuable skills. So I think people have to invest in themselves as well as investing going in the future. And the other thing I want you to know is, what'll help you too is if you spend some money on something other than yourself. All the research shows that it's not how much money you make that makes you happy. It's how you spend your money. But if you spend it on things, it gets old quick. Experiences, that feels better. Taking away drudgery is even better. But if you'll spend it on people you love, it's amazing. You want to earn more. Your brain gets creative. In fact, in this book, I'm feeding 50 million people. I donated all the profits of this book in advance. If you buy this book, you're going to help yourself and feed 50 people simultaneously through Feeding America.
Good work, Tony Robbins. Well, you are fascinating. Thank you so much for your... Oh, what do you think of the movie Up?
I love it.
Good job. Got it in there. Thanks, Tony. We're out of time. We appreciate it.
Good job, Dean. You got it in there.
I almost forgot.
You got it in there.
I remember there was some cash on the line.
Well, you already blew your chance at $10.
It's all about money. I told you, take the money.
Right. He actually grew up very poor.
He did.
Yeah, he's got quite a story. So.
Would you expect him to say anything less at the end there? It's not like he's going to say, well, I thought it was kind of maudlin. Or,
right.
Of course, he's Tony Robbins. He's going to say,
Mr. Positive.
It's such a positive message in Up, too. It is.